Hey guys, in today's video we'll be covering the topic of sensitivity. Sensitivity is a topic that almost everybody loves to talk about, and in fact I would go as far to say that some of you have built this habit of changing sensitivities very often because you see a certain streamer doing it, or because Valorant is a game where you can be very inconsistent game to game, and then you can fall under the impression that it's your sensitivity, and then you start doubting your own settings. I am here to tell you that it literally doesn't matter, guys. Like, if anything I should know, because I used almost every sensitivity that is quote unquote in the normal range for professional players, and the conclusion that I always got is that at the end of the day, over a long period of time, it doesn't matter. So on the screen right now, you can see these clips which were performed at a ridiculously high sensitivity of 0.34 at 1600 dpi, which would equal to 0.68 at 800 dpi. And as you can see, it still looks like a normal sensitivity. It just goes to show that you can be great at any sensitivity. Right now on the screen, there's the eDPI that most professional players fall into, and eDPI is your in-game sensitivity multiplied by your DPI. So for example, 0.5 at 800 dpi is the same as 0.25 at 1600 dpi. And as you can see, most professionals fall mostly in the 200 to 300 eDPI range. However, I'd say there's still a decent chunk that are in between 300 to 400 eDPI. Now, you may be asking yourself, what do I do with this information? How do I find my sensitivity? And I have the answer for you, but before I just want to chime in on something that I don't really like, which is the perfect sensitivity method that some people talk about. And it involves some calculations, and the reason I don't like it is because whatever sensitivity you are on currently, this method will put you very close to it, so it's very biased towards your current sensitivity. What you must do is to take the number 300 and divide by whatever DPI you're using, and that should give you your initial in-game sensitivity. 300 DPI is around the average sensitivity of a pro player, so it is a good starting number. And then from there, you gotta adjust if you need to. If you tend to use more wrist, increase it, and if you're more like a full arm player, lower it. Stay in between 200 and 400 eDPI, as these are the ideal ranges for Valorant. For 800 DPI, that would be a range of 0.25 to 0.5. Big enough range to fit all your individual needs and playstyle. Now, as for my own observations, and the reason why I said it literally doesn't matter when you are within this range is because I always found out that no matter if I'm playing at 0.3 800 or 0.48 800 DPI, that over a 1 week period of time my playing ability and skill will remain the same. It's just that different sensitivities require different playstyles, but there is no perfect sensitivity, and changing sensitivity won't make you a better player. I want to make that very clear. So after being on both spectrums of sensitivity, I can tell you that there is some advantages and disadvantages for both. Starting with low sensitivity, the advantages include more consistent overall, less likely to miss an easy shot, one-tap weapons like Guardian and Sheriff are slightly easier to pull off, and long-range fights are easier due to increased margin of error. And now for the disadvantages, these include, you just require more physical effort to move your crosshair, and it's way harder to clean all the corners, so sometimes you have to gamble a little bit. And this is why more game sense and better crosshair placement are very important for low sensitivity players. For high sensitivities, here's some of the advantages. It's easier to clear corners, you have better movement in your gameplay, providing you more freedom with stuff you can get away with, easier to snipe as well, and I would say that on high sense the ability to sometimes just do insane shots and hit insane multi-kills is also higher. The disadvantage is essentially you're just less consistent because on higher sense you have less margin of error because you need to move your mouse less. So in a nutshell, on higher sense you are trading off a little bit of consistency for a chance of having a higher skill ceiling. But if you stick to the range I've talked about, you're likely in a place where you won't be affected too much by these things. For me personally, I found over months of chronic sense changing that 0.2 at 1600 DPI is my sweet spot. It feels the most comfortable, and for me it seems to be the ideal balance between speed, precision and accuracy. Your goal should be to find the same, a sensitivity that allows you to be fast, think like clearing corners easy, yet precise and comfortable for your needs and playstyle. Remember guys, it's not the sensitivity. You have to actively train your aim by aim training, and you must keep improving your game sense and fundamentals. This way you leave no gaps in your development as a Valorant player.
That's all we've got for you today, guys. Subscribe to Maestro, and we will see you next time.
Get my AWP on the bomb, you're literally standing on it. You're crazy, brother.
That was sick.